Jesus didn't have a problem with people that's in the streets. He had a problem with religious people.
How can I help anybody when when I was not even able to help my own son?
I would never do that. I would never do that. And I became that in a matter of minutes when they took my pain pills away.
And I said, I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not what I used to be.
This is Faith in Your Recovery. I am Randy Davis. Welcome to the battle. Greetings and welcome to Faith in Your Recovery. We're glad you joined us today. We've got another episode that's going to be filled with good advice and good ideas to help you along your journey. Nearly every guest we've had with us over the past 200 episodes gets it. They realize their story is theirs, but we believe by them sharing it, they can offer you support in your own. We're not saying you've got to follow this path. We're saying this path worked for them. Who knows? Maybe it will work for you. But regardless, we're going to give you that option. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. Stick with us. Let a friend know. Our guest today is Ashley Vanness. Welcome, Ashley.
Thank you. Good
to have you with us. Ashley, let's just jump in this. When did your addiction battle start? Your battles with drugs, and what was that initial drug that got you moving?
I've been battling with addiction for about 25 years. I was probably about 12 when I started. I started drinking alcohol first, and then I started smoking weed. And shortly after that, I'd say I was probably about 15, I started doing pills. And that's pretty much what I stuck with for a few years. And then when I was 29, I believe, I experienced a miscarriage. And then about a year and a half after that, I lost my son. I was pregnant, and then I found out I couldn't have kids. So that was just a whole chapter closed. And then I didn't care what I did. Anything anybody offered me, I would take it.
So you went from wild to reckless abandon. Is that pretty accurate?
Absolutely. I wouldn't even ask you what it was. If you offered it to me, I would just take it
Didn't
at that
matter.
point. No.
So was that a matter of just trying to kill your experiences to numb that pain? Or was it, I just don't care anymore about life one way or the other, live or die?
I didn't care about life anymore. I wanted to be with my kids, and I just was trying to take the easy way out. And I figured if I did enough one day and mixed enough uppers and downers, it would eventually take me out.
So you say you had about 25 years of addiction, give or take, in there, yes?
Yes.
Was there ever a moment during that, the initial part of those 25 years, that you saw yourself with the possibility of climbing out of that hole? Or was it, I'm just comfortable where I'm at, this is my misery, I accept it, I'm going to live it?
No, I tried to climb out of it a couple times. I went to rehab a few times after I lost my kids, but I went for the wrong reasons. I went for the father of my kids and my friends who wanted me to go and trying to please everybody else. And then I came back home and I said I was clean, and I thought I was till I had an epiphany a few months ago with my sponsor. I used to say I had 6 years clean, but the reality of it is I still took pain pills. I got them from a doctor legally, so I justified it as I was sober. But I was still sticking them up my nose. That's still addict behavior. I wasn't clean at all.
You may have been clean of some usage, but you were still fighting addiction and the struggle and the pills and all that goes with it, huh?
Yeah, I was far from clean, yes.
Well, you made a comment. You went to rehab for the wrong reasons. Tell people what you think the right reasons are to go to rehab. Obviously wanting to get clean and to find tools to work with. Expound on that, please.
You have to go to rehab when you're ready. It doesn't matter your family willing you into
mean
it.
It doesn't matter what mom and dad say. your sister, your brother
No.
you've been so close with. They can cry, plead,
No.
yell, beg, bribe, whatever.
No. You have to do it for yourself, or for me anyway, it doesn't stick. Because you have to be ready to change for yourself and do better. You have to want better, and you have to be willing to work for it and go the extra mile and not stop at anything until you get where you want to be.
I like that. Not stop at anything till you get where you want to be. And is it hard to see that spot from the middle of addiction? Is it hard to see who you can become, who you've been created to become? What's that like?
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually a participant in drug court, and when I started, I told Judge Spitzer, he asked what I wanted out of drug court, and I said, I want to become the person I was always meant to be. I don't think I ever knew who I was meant to be. I'm just now on the journey to finding who I'm meant to be, honestly.
And I think that's a lifelong search for all of us. I've never had the battle that you've talked about here, okay? I've had my own battles. But I find out every day there's still some of me I haven't discovered. I'm a little older than you. I'm 75. Not about to ask you your age, okay? I don't play that game. I don't need two black eyes. But the idea that I'm still learning about me, about my potential, my possibilities, still trying to get over past hurts, everything. It's a lifelong process, but it has to start somewhere.
Yes, absolutely.
So what was it that got you moving toward the right path? What was it that helped you remove that veil of darkness from your eyes, the scales the scripture talks about, and to start to see clearly and believe in yourself?
Well, a year ago tomorrow, it makes a year, I found one of my best friends hanging on my back porch. And I truly believe it was because of meth. Like, I don't think if he was in his right frame of mind and not on meth and alcohol and marijuana, I don't think he would have ever done that. Like, he was so funny and just a great person. And of course, my wonderful, loving fiancé, like, he's definitely been my backbone and all the support that I've got now. And
was it the fear for you of ending up that way someday or some similar
Yes,
demise?
absolutely.
Was that it? It was enough shock to get your
Yes.
attention.
Yes, because meth will drive you literally out of your mind. Like, you won't have any clue who you are, even who you thought you was. It drives you completely out of your mind.
Let's say you've been on a sober period here. I'm not talking longevity. Just, you've been sober 3 or 4 days. Explain to our listeners what it's like from the moment you ingest that meth to the best of your ability to describe it. I know it's more hell than you can describe. I get that. But try to help those understand who don't know.
Oh, yeah, meth will take you to the darkest places that you've never seen or been. I literally became somebody I didn't know at all. I turned my back on people that did nothing but love me, best friends I had had for years. Like I said, the relapse, I turned my back on one of my very dear friends. Like, I pushed people away. I pushed my fiancé so hard in the beginning when I was using. I tell him all the time, I don't know why he's still here. I tried to push him away so I could keep doing it. It's literally you're dancing with the devil. It's the devil, I promise.
I don't know how to dig into you deeper. I'm going to try. Hope that's okay with you.
Yep.
Tell us about that devil. Tell us about that darkness. Is it total futility? Is it, again, I don't care if I live or die? Is it doesn't matter what I do to you in the middle of all this? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't care what I did to other people. I isolated myself so much. Like, I still find myself sitting around sometimes sober, sitting in the house like a vampire with all the blinds closed. And I would never go out of the house. I was too scared. It makes you very, very paranoid. Like, you believe that everybody is out to get you. Nobody is your friend. And it's all the drug. That's why I say it's the devil. Like, you know, God is love and light and accepting people and forgiving us for our sins. And the devil is just darkness and isolation and loneliness and fear.
Everything that God is not.
Yes.
And then some.
Yes.
Yeah. What was it that clicked in you that made you realize that you even mattered to God? I mean, pardon the expression, you're serving the devil with all of this. At least you're going to his party. And so what is it that helped you realize, hey, I'm worth more than this. I have a greater value than that.
When Michael did what he did and
This
Rodney
is the
stuck
gentleman
around.
that hung himself.
Yes.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you.
And when Rodney stuck around, I knew that I didn't want to lose anybody else. And it's really unfortunate. I don't want to go into too much detail about this, but my mom
I respect that.
is just not a good person for me, and that's very hard. And that night she was there and she said some very, very mean things. And I had to decide to cut her out. And I just started praying to God so much because I didn't know how I was going to do that. Because no matter what, I love her. She's my mother. But she just she doesn't have the capacity to love anyone correctly.
So in spite of all of that and everything working against you, God found a way through to you.
Yes.
And so what was your next step with that relationship, that Christ relationship?
A lot of prayer, a lot of tears, and a lot of learning about God. Like, I read a book, Stephen Futrick, I think it's called Chatterbox, but it talks about drowning out the sounds of the world so you can listen for God's voice and hear what God is truly calling you to do.
And how many times do we do it the other way? We turn up the noises of the world, the stresses,
Yes.
the strains, the music that's not going to influence us in a positive way. We get into politics. We get into so many things so we can scream and yell and not even hear ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And to take the time to allow that still, silent voice to speak to us
Yes.
requires discipline, requires work, and requires time away, because just the natural noises of life. You step outside of an evening and you hear all the changing of the season through the insects and birds and everything.
Yeah.
So we've got to get our own Gethsemane, there where Christ was able to go to connect with Christ. So as you're trying to put this devilish life behind you, as you described it a little bit ago, as you're trying to put that behind you and move forward, what kind of a battle was that? Was it, oh, I've got Christ's hand, this is easy? Or was it, but the devil's got this other one? Like,
Oh no, it was still a battle. Like, I didn't think I would make it out still. I told anybody that was around then, Rodney, my friend Melissa, anybody that was around, that I didn't think I was going to make it out. Like, I still was struggling to find the light and find my way out. I knew I didn't want to be that person anymore, and I knew I didn't want to get high anymore, but it had such a strong pull on me that I struggled to stop. Like, Rodney almost lost his job coming home so many times because I would just freak out. Like, I didn't want to get high, but I wanted to get high so bad because I felt like that's all I ever had. That was my biggest thing, and I've said it for years. Like I said, I didn't really have parents, so I felt like drugs were always there.
They were They became your comfort at some
Yeah, they never
point.
let me down. They was always there.
And yep, as ugly as that is, as nasty, but they were your comfort. They were that peace and quiet because you escaped the noise of the world through the noise of the drugs.
Yes,
Or
absolutely.
being knocked out from it for, hours, days, whatever the case may be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As you look back, how do you feel about the Ashley of old, before Christ?
Oh, I don't. I don't like her very much. I don't. But I will say that I don't know how to say. I don't regret anything that I've been through because it made me the woman I am today. And I don't feel like I would be the woman that I am had I not went through the drugs that I went through, and my ex shattered my face in 7 places. That was another dance with the devil with meth. We was both strung out, and he shattered my face in 7 places. I've had 2 reconstructive surgeries on my face. But I wouldn't be who I am without her existing. So, and I have no hate in my heart for anybody, not even the man who broke my face. I just don't hold hate anymore. But I don't like her very much, but I appreciate that I was her at one point because that's what helped form who I am today.
And you know what? Good, bad, or ugly. And indeed, we know which one the 3, so much of it was. It got you through to today. Now, we both know it was Christ that pulled you out of it. That's not the question. But
Absolutely.
I'm not sure wanting young people to hear what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. More than once, I've taught a lesson how lying can bring about survival. That, you lie your way through this, you lie your way out of that. Now, we know that's not the right way, but it's when that is the only coping tools you have. If you can get to tomorrow, you've got a fighting chance again. And you finally got to your tomorrow. So you fought that for, obviously years. Before you really started to fight back.
Yes.
How long have you been fighting back?
I celebrated 9 months on Friday.
9 months? You're a babe.
Yeah.
I say that with all positivity and pat on the back.
Yeah.
But you're a babe. You are new in this.
Yes.
What are you finding out about Ashley?
I have a huge heart, and I definitely have decided that I want my career to be something in helping people who battle with this and having a better understanding of addiction and mental health. Because I do battle with severe depression and anxiety. And
part of the package.
Yeah.
So many times, part of the package.
Absolutely. And I think some of it just stems from my childhood, and a lot of it stems from the drugs, and the paranoia, and just being out of it for so many years and I know, like I said, I definitely want to help people. I actually just filled out the paperwork to try to get a grant to do like peer support or recovery coach or something along those lines.
Correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't the state of Indiana basically require a year clean to be able to get into those kind of programs? Just for clarity for our listeners' sakes.
Yes. But it usually takes a few months before you get into the class, like for them to approve and verify everything.
So you can start at 9 months.
Yes.
Start the process, but you can't truly start the classes.
Yes. You have to have 1 year.
I just want people to know that so they've got an understanding.
Yes, sir.
And so you're hoping to become at some point a peer recovery coach.
Yes. And even if I'm not able to, for whatever reason, there's no jobs, like I'll still volunteer and, like I go to the Jay County Jail and talk to the women incarcerated, and I wish we would offer something like that in more jails because I feel like it's critical to the people that are there. Like the first time I went, I actually had a girl text me before we even got 2 blocks away and ask about that book by Stephen Futrick because she said she wanted a relationship with God and she wanted to, be on the right path when she went home, but she wasn't quite sure how to know what he wanted from her.
To me, it's crazy in a very positive way. But you just described to us the story of your life, the pain, the struggles, the losses, the personal challenges and everything. And the world in and of itself, you've heard, I'm sure, looks at you as a loser.
Yes.
I certainly don't. I don't want to be confused with that. But they fail to see the winning you have done and how that winning can be turned around for the good of others.
Yes.
By you sharing your story, somebody else goes, bing, I get it. That's my story. And they relate. They're able to see you climbing out of that. They, in turn, can move themselves out of it.
Yes, when I got baptized, it was awesome. A lady struggled with alcoholism, and she was an older lady. And she wanted to get baptized, but she didn't want to tell her story, that she was in an abusive relationship and an alcoholic. Like, she was ashamed. And when I got baptized, I laid it all raw, real, and uncut. I've been abused. I've been a drug addict for years. Just everything about losing my kids, losing friendships, pushing people, everything. And it was really cool because when I got to come home from the halfway house, she was getting baptized that weekend. So I got to be there. And the preacher was like, I just wanted to tell you that she said your story inspired her. And that's what made her come forward and be willing to talk about what she's been through. And me and that woman are still friends to this day, the woman that got baptized. I still talk to her on a regular basis.
Awesome. How long ago were you baptized, Ashley?
I want to say like 6 years ago.
Okay. And have you fallen since then? You had relapses?
Yes.
Hold it. Yes. How can that be? How can a baptized person do that? And if you don't have the answer, I do. So I'm not trying to corner you.
I'm not really sure because we're still just human beings. And as a good friend told me, humans will fail you every time, but God won't.
Amen. Yeah, we have that strength, but the entities of the darkness, those principalities of darkness, as the scripture defines them, they're still after us, and even more so early on at that point.
Yes.
We're more ripe for the grabbing, and so they're working hard to get us back in their hands instead of in the hands of Christ.
Yeah, so I was saying when the devil knows that you've seen darkness and you've danced with him before, he knows it's a little bit easier to pull you back in.
Yes.
Versus somebody who's never met him before.
Absolutely. Now, a little while back, you in your conversation, you mentioned drug court. Mm-hmm. What's your status with drug court now? Tell the folks what that's been like, how drug court works. Just what takes place.
A lot of people think that drug court sets you up for failure, and I beg to differ. If you're ready for change, drug court is an amazing blessing. Obviously, I was ready for it. You take random drug screens all the time. They come to your house. You take a lot of classes like women's balanced living, and that teaches you mindfulness, emotional regulation, basically how to live life on life's terms. Because as an addict, you really don't know how to live life on life's terms because every time life starts lifing, you start getting high. So you go to a lot of classes, random drug screens. You have to do AA or NA meetings. You have to obtain a sponsor and work the steps. You have to do peer support meetings or network support. I'm sorry. And that is with your corrections officer. And that's where like Rodney went in with me one time and my corrections officer asked him how I was really truly doing. And my sponsor went in with me.
A lot of forms of accountability within that, obviously.
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Pardon the interruption.
And right now I'm currently in phase 3. I've kind of moved through it rather quickly because, like I said, I wanted it. And I go the extra mile to make sure that, like, if there's something that I feel like they're not helping me with, but it would be beneficial to me, I have no problem speaking up and being like, hey, we need to work on this, but I'm struggling with this.
So drug court as a whole is how long of a process?
It can be anywhere from a year to 3 years is what you have to complete it. But most people, it's about 15 to 18 months. I've been in it 9-10 months, I want to say, and I'm in phase 3. So
Is that, how many phases are there?
okay, well, there's 4. Well, there's actually 5 if the judge feels like you need another phase. But it's not like with each phase, your responsibilities lighten up a little, because I feel like they want to see how you can do
Test
when they
the
loosen the
waters in
reins a
real
little
life,
bit at a
yeah?
time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And early on, you may mention something like so many think it's just a setup for failure, when actually they're doing everything they can. I know there's a forgiveness
Yes.
factor. I know that the number one thing I get the impression they expect is honesty.
Yes.
And you have to be honest or you will fail, but that's not them failing you. It's you.
It's yourself failing you.
yourself.
Because I've had one sanction. That was when I first started, and I got high. And I told the judge, I was super honest about it. Before he even drug screened me, I didn't even get drug screened. And he gave me community service. He is so understanding, and he is so down to earth. He treats you like you're a human being, even though he's a judge. I saw him at Rulers, and he talked to me like we was friends.
You know, they're into this. They're in it for you, not just for the sake of the law, but they're trying to improve your life and trying to see you again become that you that God created you to be.
Yes, and they give you so many chances. And like I said, people say it sets you up for failure, but it sets you up for success if you're ready to change. If you're just trying to use the program.
Fool yourself some more or them, it's not going to happen.
No, if you're just trying to use it to get your charges off your record, it's not going to happen. If you're utilizing the program to learn about yourself and build a relationship and build the support network you need, it's an amazing program. There's no other program like it.
These are trained professionals, and I'm sure they can see through your story before you get the story finished.
Yes.
That they get it, and they want to be able to move you on with all of that, so that continues.
Yes, absolutely.
Forward. Where would you be without drug court, do you believe, Ashley?
I would have lost everything, I'm sure.
Why?
I just
you
couldn't.
Needed
I
the
needed
accountability?
yeah. Well, it wasn't so much the accountability, it was that I needed a support system. I didn't have anybody. Like when I started this journey, I didn't have anybody but Rodney. That's it. Like I don't have a family. I don't deal with any of them. I mean, it's unfortunate, but they're just very toxic, and I don't want to live that way. Like, so I literally don't deal with any of them.
It sounds to me like there is a structure there, but it's not, I've got to look over my shoulder at each step to take the right next step.
No.
That there is a pattern to follow. Stay on that path, continue with it, remain honest.
Yes.
And you can walk through that journey.
Yes, and they'll even help you when you're done. Like, you know what I mean? And like I said, it drops the charges, dismisses the charges. And like I've heard them help people get into positions of, peer support, recovery coach, working in sober living homes, or volunteering, or whatever it may look like for them, working for the court system. They help you get into a position like that if you've actually utilized the program and really worked it.
We've talked about the Ashley of yesterday, the Ashley of old, the Ashley in drug court. Let's hear about the Ashley of today. It's okay to brag here and to be proud. Tell us where you're busting at the seams and how you are. The difference you see in yourself.
Oh, yeah,
and
I'm extreme. I'm love and light now, and I have a huge heart. I work hard. Me and my fiance work hard for everything we have. We have 2 amazing, goofy dogs at home that we just absolutely adore. And I've built such a network of people that believe in me. Like, I feel so loved and valued, and I've never been more motivated in my life, and I've never wanted anything more in my life. Actually, when I started drug court, I was still on pain pills. And I mean, for my age, I was getting 4 a day. So, I mean, my neck is collapsing, and I chose to come off of them. Drug court's like, well, you might need them. Like, if the doctors no, I don't. That's how I always end up skating by. I want to be all the way fully clean this time. And I'm so proud of myself and over the moon. And my fiance is too. Like,
hooray for you both.
Yeah, he's my biggest supporter. Like, I remember
Should be.
when I gave my first speech to Phase Up, when I walked out of the courtroom, he picked me up and spun me around and told me how proud he was of me. He had tears in his eyes. He's probably going to kill me for saying that, but it's okay.
We'll protect you, all right? We'll watch out for him. So absolutely. What are the joys you have planned for your future?
Oh, like I said, definitely helping people. Like, that is my biggest passion. I just want to help people. Even if I only inspire one person, I know that I have such a story and so much history that I can help people.
Do you have those people in your life? You don't have to mention them because you'd leave somebody out.
Mm-hmm.
But do you have those people in your life who, if you were to sit down, you can make a list of those who have really impacted you for the good?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And the people that gave me chances, like I said, the girl I ran into, and I know she doesn't mind me saying, Melissa, she's a godsend. Like, she's such a dear friend, and it's crazy because we picked up right back where we left off. Like, we never missed a beat, never quit talking. Like, she understood where I was coming from and why I backed away. And, like, we're actually planning my wedding together.
Cool. Now, other than drug court, what are some of the disciplines of your day-to-day recovery? For those out there who may be at that point in their lives where they're hunting for ways to maintain that recovery and become fully recovered, help them out.
I used to think people was crazy when they said people, places, and things, but it is so true because what you surround yourself with is what you become. Like, I've had to make a lot of hard decisions, and like I said, I've cut all my family out because I had to. They're users and abusers, and it's a sad reality. But work on building your own family and go to therapy and don't be afraid to talk and open up to people because not everybody is like the people from probably your past that you dealt with. You have to give somebody a chance and start somewhere, and you'll find so many amazing people and things and just the beauty in the world itself. Like, I took it for granted for so long, and now the simplest things are just beautiful. Like, we're super simple. We go down by the water and, like, we'll just watch the water and the waves. And, like, it's beautiful. Like, it's just nature.
Absolutely.
It's God's beauty.
So what about, are you involved with recovery programs of some type? If so, what? How's that going?
Yeah, like, I go to Brianna's Hope. And, like I said, I go into the J County Jail. And I'm almost graduated most of my classes.
Where do you go to Brianna's Hope?
At the River, the South Campus in Marion, Grant County.
You guys are a brand new chapter, basically. What, a couple, 3 months old? I'm going to guess 3,
But let me tell
4?
you, we had 89 people. Yeah, we had 89 people there 2 weeks ago, I think it was.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I know great things are happening there. I've gotten so close with Dania and,
Yes.
all of them that Whoa, OTG Zico.
Yes.
He's got these dreadlocks, folks. You got to see him. I want him someday. I've told him if he ever cuts them, they're mine.
yours.
I'm going to staple them to the inside of my hat. And you'll be seeing me with dreads, okay? And then he showed me a picture of some he had at home that he'd cut. It looked like a cornstalk. They looked so long. But they had to be 18 inches, 24 inches, I don't know. Maybe he'll loan me a couple of those, okay? And I can staple them to the head. But no, Jake Martz, the leadership over there, that's awesome. That is by far the fastest growing chapter we've ever had.
Yes.
We've had others with great success, but that one's blown them out of the waters. And there's got to be reasons for that. Number one, there must be a need in the Marion area.
Yes,
Not
there
trying
is.
to be critical, trying to be real.
There is.
And if we
badly.
meet that need, and it's touching people like you and others, then hooray.
Yes.
We just got a few minutes here. The folks who are listening who may be in the middle of their struggle, give them some words of help, hope, and encouragement.
Pray. Find a home meeting that you're comfortable with. And like I said, you got to reach out to people, trust somebody, start somewhere, honey. I promise it's worth it. I wouldn't be where I was at today if I didn't open my heart and my mind and start trusting and praying and believing in a power greater than me. Because when I tried, I failed every time.
And that's what got you there in the first place, right?
Yep.
Your own efforts, even though they were negative efforts. And regardless of the pressures around you, addiction's a disease. I get that. I have no question. But I do believe it's kicked off by a choice.
Yes.
And that we make that choice. And
initially, the choice is ours, but after that, it's not our choice anymore if you're an addict.
It takes over, doesn't it? It just puts those locks and chains on you, those cuffs. It puts that mask over your face. You become a different person, and it's got you before you know it. One choice can lead to a world of just dread and doom and death and all that goes with it. But you said you start by praying.
Pray
you get
first.
involved with others who are on that same mission. Get involved with a recovery group, whatever you might like to call this. And then, as I recall, you said that you've got to start trusting.
Yes.
And you're going to get let down. But let me tell you something. Addicts, those struggling with drugs, are not the only ones let down by people. People let everybody down. And you mentioned it earlier. If we're counting on them, we're counting on the wrong source because we're fallible.
Yes.
We're going to fail. We're going to stumble. But you start trusting God through Christ. I've yet to meet someone that he has let down. I've never had anybody come to me and tell me that he had. Now, they may have walked away and wanted to blame it on him, but the separation started with them. So as we get near the end here, what would you like to wrap this up with, Ashley? Anything you'd like to say or reiterate?
My sobriety has brought me, and God have brought me so many things that I never thought I would have. Just amazing opportunities. Like somehow through it all, I was able to keep my home. I lived without power for 6 months, but somehow I was able to keep my home through my relapse. Like I said, if you just start trusting and find a program that works for you. If just going to church and praying works for you, do that. If going to a meeting works for you, do that. If you don't believe in God and that's not for you, find something that works for you. We all work our own program and walk our own line. You have to do what works for you.
That's a great thought. There are dozens upon dozens of patterns out there.
Yes.
But by the same token, it doesn't mean everyone's not going to have a detour when you're walking on it or when you're
Nope.
driving on it. You may have to turn and go another way. That's okay. There's still a way. But keep picking yourself up, get up. As we always like to say here on Faith in Your Recovery, stay in the battle.
Yes.
You can win it. It can be overcome. You're working with one who's known as the great overcomer, and he's made us more than overcomers. You said it earlier, can't do it on your own.
No.
You've got to have that higher power. And to me, that higher power remains Jesus Christ, God through Christ. And you stay on that path. Can't guarantee it tomorrow. Can't guarantee it next week. I can guarantee it. The closer you get to him, the farther you get away from all the things of the world, whether it's, greed or whatever it may be. The chance is there. We hope you'll take it. Anything else for you, Ashley?
No, the only other thing is, and I tell everybody, like, my path may not be the same as yours, but that doesn't mean I'm right and you're wrong, or you're wrong and I'm right. Diversity makes the world a beautiful place.
Amen to that, folks. Let that be our final words today here on Faith in Your Recovery. Thanks again for tuning in and listening to this episode. Thank you, Ashley, for your time and effort coming here to share. Folks, we've got some big announcements coming up soon. Not going to do it today, just going to tease you before I please you. But we'll get back to those. Once again, we hope you'll join us for our next time on Faith in Your Recovery. Next Wednesday, 4 o'clock live. It drops on the podcast at 6 a.m. Friday, and it's all major podcast platforms. Our thanks to the Christian Center, the Anderson Christian Center, for hosting us here as they have for nearly the past 4 years. It's been a neat thing and a God blessing. Thank you. Amen. Stay in battle. We love you.
Thank you.